3 against Lunalight. It will be absolutely tough, but now Felipe has a chance to set up a turn 1 field that will prevent a Liger Dancer from coming out. But on the same side, Lunalight is a strategy we've seen that main decks cards like heavy polymerization, so tools for going first, tools for going second. Felipe is going to start off with a Cookie Yummy.
Yeah, one thing that you really want when you're the Yummy deck going first, especially against a deck like Lunalight, which wants to fusion summon, is that Herald. Herald's such a powerful card. It not only negates, well, one thing that you want, negate anything you like, but also has this effect: cards sent from the hand or grave, cards sent from the hand or deck to grave get banished instead, which can be very, very powerful.
Already an unfortunate pickup from Felipe, forced to activate the minion from end, not from deck. So, you know, always a bad feeling back in the day from, you know, those Salamangreat deck with the Sanctuary. And I mean, there has been a few also with, you know, Dragon Link decks back in the past, but I mean, not as bad when you draw the minion, I guess. But yeah, he's gonna have to rely instead. And now, what card is he gonna give up? He's having a big think, and it's gonna be a Forbidden Droplet.
Wow.
Interesting.
That is an interesting one to see for sure. The Cupsy Yummy Way is now going to be sent to the graveyard for a Link summon for Yummy Snatchy.
That's an interesting line for sure.
Yeah, it was perhaps a bit of a rough start, because if you just had a few more Yummy monsters and you didn't need to use the field spell, you could always just discard it and then recycle it.
Yeah, and I guess this is the bonus of not having to use the Snatchy. We can get instantly this Akruki during our own turn and then play around a potential Nibiru from Tom.
Very well insulated here from Nibiru. Also going to have it in play for next turn as just one more way for interruptions. Yummy is one of those decks where you just have a sort of 1,000 cuts. You negate them, you destroy something here, you shuffle something back into the deck there. It just does a little bit of everything and never seems to run out of monsters itself.
Yep, and now we're going to see a Synchro summon with the Yummy Snatchy and the Cups Yummy for a Lollipo Yummy Way. The special summon back 2 Yummy monsters from the graveyard, so it's going to bring back that Cupsy Yummy Way and Cupsy Yummy. Then they're going to be immediately sent right back to the graveyard from which they came for another summon here for Martial Metal Marcher.
Yep, we haven't seen it at all in the previous match with Willy, preferring, you know, that star hand, but now we are gonna go into it, and here comes the card we have been talking about, Tom, that Beard Herald of the Arc Light.
Yeah, this is definitely one of those cards that kind of shapes the meta around it, because there are so many decks where it's just such a problem and you really have to have a card in hand to deal with it. And I think it is the same for Lunalight. I don't think you can just play your normal strategy while Herald is in play, so it's going to have a plan to deal with that.
And I mean, we have seen that Dark Ruler no more from Tom in the previous rounds. That would definitely be an extremely good card to see here. So can he find it off the top?
The one thing about this matchup that's a little tough, I mean, there's a lot of things going against Yummy, against Lunalight, but one of the main interactions is that Cookie Yummy Way, being able to flip multiple monsters face down on the opponent's side of the field. But against fusion strategies, we've been talking about it, you can still fuse away monsters from the field, so it's not as game-ending as it is against some of these other decks that really need to use the monsters for Link summoning.
Indeed. And we might just be done here. We have a couple of Yummy surprise in the end. And yeah, it seems like we're just gonna shuffle back some resources. Interesting to shuffle back the Synchro, I feel like. Usually you might want to keep a second Synchro in the graveyard, but I guess he feels insulated enough. So we're just gonna set a couple cards back, and it's gonna be the full end. Yeah.
A little more than a couple. We have 3 face downs, everything remaining on the field.
Wow.
It's gonna come down to how Tom's deck is built for going second here in game number 1. You mentioned he does include a lot of key cards that are strong against the Yummy matchup.
Absolutely. We have seen cards like Book of Eclipse and Dark Ruler no more. Do we have any of them, or is it going to be that heavy polymerization once more?
Yeah, Dark Ruler, an even better card than Book of Eclipse. So we're going to start with the Book of Eclipse, and it is a perfect answer to this Herald of the Arclight here. Pretty much have to chain it, because it's just going to get set if you don't, along with the rest of your Yummy field.
So definitely a solid start here for Tom.
Definitely, definitely. You needed to, and as mentioned here, you go for the Herald.
looks like Tom has considered chaining. Maybe he has
Yeah.
something like Call by the Grave.
Yeah, we have seen him draw it twice already on stream, to be fair, so wouldn't be the first time. And
Again, Call by the Grave to negate the Herald of the Arc Light, which is going to mean this Lollipop is going to go face down. But
yeah.
oh no, he's going to chain it to return it to the extra deck, of course. But the monsters he's going to bring out are going to go face down, except for the Yummy Snatchy, since it's a Link monster. So he's going to have to utilize this Yummy Surprise probably to bring back a monster from the graveyard here this turn.
Yeah, interesting choice there from Tom, because I'm wondering if maybe the Caught by the Grave is more valuable on something like a Snatchy in the grave instead of just a chance to. He's effectively used it to set one monster here, right? So it's not done all that much once the Herald is already off field.
Fair enough. At the same time, I guess it's close. He does know that there is at least one Yummy Surprise there, so you could always chain it then on the Snatchy, and instead we are gonna use it right away here, I guess, and then accessing a Synchro Summon. This way, you know, our Capsi is gonna get us a card. I think, again, it's an interesting decision here whether you really want to use the effect to add or to draw later on, but we're just gonna get to add the Lollipop.
Yeah, I think a Lollipop in the hand is worth
Is it?
2 in the somewhere else. I don't know. 2 in the deck.
Yeah, I don't know. I think this is always an interesting. I mean, even here, you're not really forced to use the Capsi. You could just not use the effect, go into a Synchro, and then you know, summon it back and draw a card later on. But I mean, we'll see. We are prioritizing consistency, and I can get behind that. But I think Ash Blossom could be devastating against you know, Tom, especially now that he's out of Cold by the Grave and with only 4 cards in hand.
True, and it looks like Felipe is going to immediately use one of these Yummy Snatchies to Synchro Summon, so we'll have maybe a Cupsy Yummy way to add some more cards to the hand here, and then send that Lollipop that he added. But he wants to have a Synchro on the field, so he'll be able to chain it to tag out to bring back the Yummy Snatchy again. But he's going for Lollipop away right away. Makes a lot of sense.
Indeed. And here there is an interesting question of, I mean, might not be the case here, but technically you could still go into another Herald, and although you can't use the effect to negate, the effect to banish still works, right?
Yep.
So
that is looking like what Felipe is considering. He's going to the Starham, using the Starham's effect to discard that Lollipop to special summon back a Cookie Yummy, and then the Cookie Yummy is going to be Synchro summoned alongside the Starham.
Yeah, that's one of the hardest working Yummy Snatchies that we've seen for a while. It's just performed 3 Synchro Summons in a row.
And it's going to do another one too at some point.
It needs a rest.
Was trying to bring up, Cold by the Grave.
I think you're right, Macho. Obviously, the activated effects
Yeah,
are
but
negated.
now actually, I
negated,
read
right?
it. No, yeah, because I read it and I thought it said only activated effects, but actually it's activated effects and effects on the field.
Yeah, so it's doing nothing on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was also, you know, going by memory, I'm thinking it's only the activated effects, but no, I'm pretty sure it does nothing here. Yeah.
Interesting. Maybe a slight misstep there, but we're going to have to see how it's going to play out. As Tom is going to activate Fire Formation Tinky to add a Beast Warrior from the deck to the hand. There's a lot of them in the Lunalight strategy. Tri-Brigade Fractal is also a card.
Yeah, I mean, there was no reaction from Tom when he made it, but I don't know how much of a poker face he has with regards to this.
Lunalight Gold Leo.
Waiting for the sort of victorious, no, it's negated. You know, you try and activate a Fractal or something, and then...
All right, Infinite Permanence. This is huge on the Gold Leo. Because Gold Leo has 2 effects. On summon, you can add a Lunalight monster and then send a card from your hand to the graveyard. But also, the second effect is if a Lunalight is sent to the graveyard, you can add a Lunalight back to your hand. Cutting both of those effects off is huge.
Such a good card, and now it seems like Felipe is gonna have a moment to think whether he wants to use this Snatchy and a Crookie here right away. Might be a bit early, but let's see.
Yeah, it might be that it's the battle phase or something like that, because, I mean, there's basically nothing you can do with the Leo by itself.
Yeah, but the question is always how much experience do these duelists have against the deck? And, I mean, in the interview, Felipe did mention that the Lunalight cards kind of escaped him in the preparation for this event, given that, you know, the deck is not that popular over here in the TCG. And, I mean, Tom might make advantage of it.
Also worth it, I guess, just getting a monster off the field, and that way it can't be used as a fusion material. Because the destruction of a Crocky, you can't use it as a sort of quick effect. You do have to wait and trigger something else, but that is just the game.
Wow. Nice handshake there, and question is going to be, can Tom find his engine? And I see a lot of disruption from Felipe.
Yeah, showing his hand to the camera there, and what a hand it is. Everything and a full loss on top, so let's see how Tom can play into the full loss.
I do see a fire formation tanky, which is a great way to access the engine. But we start with the Foolish Burial. Amazing, amazing extender card.
Yep, being able to send Lunalight, Silver Hound will be great, but if Felipe has that Mulcharmy Fallout, it's pretty strong against Lunalight. They special summon from the deck and extra deck.
A lot. Yeah.
And that is what we might be seeing here.
Wondering if the plan under a Fuelos is simply just to go full steam ahead and make your Tiger a Liger Dancer anyway, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how many cards they have if they can't answer the Liger Dancer. And to be fair, the Yummy deck is one of those decks where it doesn't really matter how many cards they have.
We do not go for Fuvalos. Interesting. We do not.
Ash Blossom.
Yeah.
Fire Formation Tinky met by Dominus Purge.
We just want to try and stop Tom completely, not using the Mulcharmy, but trying to just end the turn, and we might have been successful at it. Wow.
Just sets a card face down. We were talking about Field Breaker's not great, but those hand interactions absolutely punishing against the Lunalight strategy.
Yeah, Dominance Purge just showing its power there, a very powerful hand trap. Players just having a little discussion about something, but yeah, of course, Dominance Purge, you have to use it after Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, as everyone knows, but something you don't want to accidentally get wrong, because it would stop you from using Ash Blossom afterwards.
And those Dominance cards are they're actually trap cards you can use from the hand, so it makes a lot of sense.
And a Sky Striker engage. Oh, wow.
Felipe off to a great start here in game number 2.
Yeah, you can see Tom debating about this. Could he really have, you know, maybe an Ash of his own? No, he's gonna allow it. So Ornate Drones most likely gonna be added to the end of Felipe. And again, a player sneaking in with that 4-free record that is looking to take out a top seed.
Yeah, is Tom gonna return the favor with the Dominus Purge maybe after getting it? Oh, sorry, Dominus Impulse. I'm always gonna get those the wrong way around.
It's a 50-50. But engage, adding the Hornet Drones, you kind of look at the face there on Tom, not happy, but trying to stay focused and locked in. He knows this could be his potential last game of the tournament, but off to just a brutal start here.
He has just got that one starter, Felipe, so if there was a Dominus Impulse or something to deal with this Hornet Drones, that would be the turn pass. And it makes you wonder, when your hand has only got one engine piece, would you not start with that full loss in future?
It's definitely a tough call here. And there is still another card in hand, which I'm not quite sure, you know, outside of that, what those could be. But for now, yeah, we are just gonna use this Hornet Drones. No response.
Drones is a fantastic card, but not starting with Yummy monsters does mean you are a little bit more soft to negations, because there's no way to, for example, tag out if your Yummy synchro gets interrupted.
But no effect.
Oh, he used the...
yeah, he can't use the effect because of the Dominus. It's a fire monster.
True. Now he's going to normal summon Mulcharmy Fualos.
Wow.
Where does this get you? The Yummy synchros are not level 5.
Because I think then wasn't the play to maybe go into Almirage and then Hornet Drones?
Does he even run Almirage?
I mean, some do, but...
He's attacking!
Wow! He's just attacking. Is that just gonna be maybe an SP? Is that it? Because I mean,
he doesn't use Almirage.
He doesn't. Oh, wow. That explains it. So actually, it looked as if, you know, that was a combo, but not even then. We might just be passing after this SP.
Going after the face down, or he could be going after the Silver Hound of the Grave, but I don't think so. He's going to go after the missing card.
But
Oh, the Dominus
again,
Purge.
Oh wow! I mean,
Oh.
I mean, great catch by Tom, and of course you can't use it. They come at a heavy cost, and oof.
I think you touched on it, Tom. There's not the Tom that's playing, but the Tom sitting next to me. Maybe he would have wanted to use that Fualis with not having any Yummy cards in the hand because he's not really able to get anywhere with all these amounts of disruption.
Yeah, because that Purge just shut off his own starter there. It's been so damaging to his turn. No Kagari, no SP Lunalight. He'd have been better off activating an Impulse himself, you know?
Yeah, and I mean, Tom, you cannot count him out. He's going to have another turn, another way to get to more Lunalight monsters, facing down just one spell and trap card. And he has a Lunalight Gold Leo, which is going to immediately be bet by Forbidden Droplet, sending that useless SP Little Knight to the graveyard. Tom checking his face down in his Book of Eclipse. So it's going to be able to allow this Leo to resolve, which is going to let him add a Lunalight and send a Lunalight, but that's going to continue to let him keep summoning monsters onto the field. Tom might be able to even things out here, and he's going to surrender just like that.
Surrender.
All right, nice friendly handshake here going into game 3.
Oh my goodness.
Not what you want to see. Oh, that helps.
That's
Oh,
quite the interesting opening. I mean, we are gonna see a Sky Striker deck later on, and I'm sure that player is gonna wish to open with triple engage maybe. But if you're playing the Yummy deck, that's quite different.
Yeah, it is a powerful starter, but it does require this slightly wonky lineup of 3 search cards for only 1 target, and this is probably not the way you want to draw it.
now he's not going to be cut off here from Dominus Purge, so the Kagari is going to be able to add back the Hornet Drone, so it's much more effective here in game number 3 than it was in game number 2.
But again, we don't see many engine pieces, which means there is not really much thinking going on. This is going to be the Cup C Yummy way. And then, also the decision is going to be pretty easy. We'll discard one of these engage, and then we'll be able to special summon both of our monsters from end later on.
Do you think Felipe was holding his breath there about this Cup C Yummy way resolving? If there was some sort of effect negation, it would have been devastating for him, but it does resolve. Going to send that extra copy of Engage to the graveyard, as you mentioned, Marcello. And now it looks like he is thinking about Link summoning by sending Cup C Yummy way to the graveyard.
He's got 3 spells in his grave, you know?
If only he had another Sky Striker card to add.
If only there was a Widow Anchor or something in the deck, but again, it probably wouldn't do all that much, because he's going to have a full field of monsters almost certainly by the end of the turn.
Sure, we have seen a few players, trying out some targets. I've seen this weekend, a Widow Anchor, an Afterburner also. So you never know, but I do agree with you, that's not quite going to be the case. Instead, most likely we'll go search our Yummy Surprise. And yeah, that is the quick spell.
Taking a somewhat more conservative line, I'd say, by going for the Akroki rather than the Mignon, because, I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe he doesn't know Tom's deck list exactly, and he hasn't had the fortune that we've had of watching him on stream all weekend, but it doesn't look like a deck where you're likely to get hit with something like Nibiru. It looks like a deck where he is going to go second and try and crack the field that you make, so maybe it's worth being a bit more greedy.
We see the Martial Metal Marcher coming down again to bring back the Cup C Yummy way. A special summon from the hand of Cookie Yummy, and now another Synchro Summon for Herald of the Arc Light.
And yeah, he has done this all weekend long. I agree with you, Tom. Definitely not the usual way of doing this, but maybe he's trying to insulate himself from the Dark Ruler no more as well. I think that's that's a smart way to play around some of these distractions, and I think this is still quite the opener to to break from Tom, but I think we are pretty much done. So can we find some of these going second cards? The deck, can sometimes struggle when it draws too many of these engine Lunalight cards going second. You need the perfect combination of breakers plus cards.
You do get those 6 cards rather than 5.
And it's an interesting dynamic here with the Herald of the Arc Light on the field and an Artifact Lancia in the hand. But once one goes off, the Artifact Lancia might be useful here in slowing down Tom and his Lunalights.
And there it is, interesting moment here. First and foremost, do we see the Dark Ruler coming from Tom?
Or maybe a Book of Eclipse, anything. Dark Ruler,
and
no
it
more.
is Dark Ruler, no more from Tom yet again.
That's step 1.
Is going to answer that Herald. That makes it just, every time you use a Dark Ruler, though, you think, oh, the Yummy Surprise, it just turns everything back on. So maybe this is backed up by a Dominus Impulse. It would shut down the Yummy engine completely.
And yeah, this is where Felipe is gonna take a moment and possibly chain that Yummy Surprise.
Bring back the Cups of Yummy Way, potentially.
Yeah.
Does look like that is going to be the case.
That is the case indeed. And now it's also an important thing, because as you've mentioned, now the Artifact Lancia is technically online. You can use it since the Herald is negated. But
well, this time you can actually make another Herald.
Yeah.
And it will be in play.
Be effective.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Worth noting, though, I think Felipe only got the 2 Yummies engraved because he only had the chance to search 2. So maybe that will limit his ability to interrupt Tom somewhat.
Could be. Let's see what he's gonna follow it up with. Obviously, you have the heavy polymerization, an amazing card, but would be punished by the Lancia, no?
As well, heavy polymerization. When you're going to put yourself down to 500 life points, and your opponent's not taking any damage, so you're going to have a bit of a tough time at the end of the turn.
And a Book of Eclipse.
But
he has the Ash Blossom.
Ash Blossom to negate it.
All right, so we've seen a lot of non-engine from Tom here at the beginning of his turn. Will he have the Lunalight cards he also needs to follow this up?
Still got a good 4 in hand.
Yeah, it's gonna be a close one. You can feel it. Both are quite tense. They both know it's gonna come down to this couple of plays. And it's not gonna be quite the heavy polymerization, but it's gonna be the Lunalight Fusion.
Pretty close. Still going to be a card that helps you cheat out your Lunalight Fusions a little easier than just like polymerization the monsters from your hand to be able to use a monster from the extra deck.
And yeah, we are gonna chain this Cupsy Yummy Way. Just bring back, makes sense, the Snatchy and the Cookie, possibly aiming to destroy whatever fusion monster is summoned. And since Felipe controls a monster that was special summoned from the extra deck, we can use 1 material from Tom's own.
Oh, is this
It's
just...
going to be
Oof.
3. He's just going to summon a Leo Dancer, but he's using Silverhound and Black Sheep. Those effects are going to activate in the graveyard.
How have we seen this card summoned so many times? This Leo Dancer.
It definitely comes up. We 100% know what it does now. It can attack twice. When it attacks, it can destroy your opponent's monsters. It's an absolutely incredible card.
Yeah, and you can't really do much with this Cookie on it since he cannot be targeted or destroyed. Well, we've seen it already, how it can easily break a field, destroying every single special summon monster. Obviously, no damage due to that Dark Ruler, but this is quite the issue.
It was, again, a very big investment, and Tom not going to be able to end the game this turn, and we know Felipe is probably going to end up with a few cards in hand because those Yummy monsters just seem to keep recycling themselves.
Yep.
No matter what you do about it.
The Black Sheep's going to add the Silverhound back to the hand, which is not too bad. And then the Silverhound's going to special summon Gold Leo from the deck. Lunalight Gold Leo is going to activate on summon to add a Lunalight monster. Then he'll have to send a card to the graveyard. Felipe can still Synchro Summon using that Yummy Snatchy effect that's in the main monster zone. He can also just tribute off the Herald Arclight if he wants, just to clear up some room, potentially.
Yeah, it's not going to do an awful lot on the field.
Yeah, it's going to be destroyed by that Leo Dancer at some point.
Wondering.
Not being able to target or destroy it is absolutely incredible.
Yeah, it's really tough to answer at all.
Wondering when Yummy plays, they're just going to put a Ceravis in just for when you tribute the the Arclight. Use the effect that it was intended. You know, after the first like 20 years of Arclight's existence or something, everyone was just searching a ritual spell with it.
Get that additional effect for sure. This is an important key moment. It's game 3. Both players on only a few cards left.
Yeah, crucial moment for sure. And let's see what we can do. Tom, you can see, is also extremely focused. He does not want to make a mistake at this stage. It's going to come down to this turn, whether he can have a shot of becoming the new world champion.
It is certainly not easy for him. You have to wonder, sometimes players play a little faster when they have all the cards they need immediately, so maybe it's a time for Tom to have to think very, very carefully how best to use the limited resources he has.
So he adds the Lunalight Tiger and then sends the Silver Hound he added right back to the graveyard. And now he's going to use the Leo effect to add it right back to his hand yet again.
When do you think we are going to go for this Snatchy?
If he activates the Tiger, I could see going for it to go into Cookie Way to put the Leo face down and then use the field spell to take out the Tiger.
Tiger, it summons something when it's destroyed, right? Something like that?
But never mind.
From
We're
the
actually
graveyard,
going
maybe?
for it now. Activated the Snatchy, and we're probably going to use the one, in the extra deck. In the extra monster zone that was negated by Dark Ruler no more, and we are gonna go for Capsi Yami Way, adding some resources to the end, but we actually pull off the Akruki right away. Interesting.
So he wants to destroy the Leo to get it off the field.
Yeah.
It makes a lot of sense for Kepsi to, get that follow-up, because even though he got Dark Ruler no more, he knows he's going to have another turn, but...
And most importantly, we can get rid of this bird engage. Yeah.
There's some
3 copies of
put in.
Engage, just the absolute worst thing to see there.
Indeed, and I think Tom might be smiling. I don't know. He looked pretty locked into me, but yeah, you can see no reaction whatsoever.
I don't think he even knows that there's
No.
Engage. I mean, he's going to realize it now when he looks to the graveyard potentially, but...
I'm wondering if there's ever a university that just discarding the Lollipop instead, so it's in the grave and can be revived and start banishing things from the grave, but...
Could be, but nope. It seems like we are just gonna move on to the battle phase, and then look at this. We are gonna clear the whole field, and now we can use the Akruki possibly, but is that in the damage step actually the effect to clear everything?
Yeah, an awful lot of cards these days cannot be used in the damage step, so...
Wow.
Now Tom's going to activate Lunalight Masquerade. With the Silver Hound already being used, it's not going to be as effective, but he'll be able to send maybe something like Yellow Martin to the graveyard. Or he has the Tiger, so he could send Kaleido Chick, actually. Or, he has so many options. In combination with the Tiger, Masquerade is actually a fantastic card. But it is going to be Kaleido Chick.
Yeah, we must keep in mind there is still the artifact Lancia that might slow him down, but this is amazing, and I mean, Tom just has so much available to him.
Kaleido Chick can send any Lunalight monster as a cost to copy the name.
Yeah, such a powerful ability somehow that it is a cost to send a monster from your deck to the grave. We've seen some of these cards before, and they've been some of the most powerful cards.
And I think it's Martin.
Yep, and here comes the Yellow Martin. Yellow Martin's going to return the Tiger, so it'll be able to be reused again and special summon itself to the field. So now he has access to a rank 4, which could be many things. It could be Tiger King, could be Baguska if he so chooses, Dagaris.
Tom, he's having a look at the graveyard, maybe signaling that he might be looking at making an SP at some point. An SP going to be met by an artifact lance. He's going to get quite a lot of value. Felipe could shut down that and a potential Lunalight fusion summon in the future.
Yeah, especially if Tom decides to go into the Tiger King, to go for Fire Formation Tinky, to go for Lunalight Wolf. That Lancia is going to be really key.
Yeah, I mean, we can assume that I'm pretty much sure Tom thinks Felipe is out of interruptions. So if he gets a bit greedy, he could get punished surely. Yeah. But I mean, on the other end, he knows the rest of the end. He knows that there are only 2 monsters, and that makes its life quite a bit easier in, figuring out how to deal with the rest of the setup.
This is a big decision, and he's just going to go into the Dagaris.
Third way.
Because he is thinking about that SP Little Knight, I think. He's going to... Oh, no, he's going to draw.
Yeah, we usually see the effect to special summon back and then skip the main phase, but looking like we might go for a draw. And I mean, might make sense after siding so many good cards against the Yami deck card there. So let's see if he gets punished by this.
Well, what are the cards that are, the good cards against the Yami deck are probably things like Dark Ruler, which once they've done the job of clearing the field,
Yeah.
maybe you don't want them anymore, but you do get to discard one of the cards you draw. So let's see if he finds what he's looking for.
Take a look at this 2 draws. Important moment for Tom. Looking for the deciding answer in his deck, and finally throws to discard 1. We still have the option to special summon 1 back from the graveyard as we have bounced back our Lunalight Tiger. And there he comes down once more.
Probably use the effect of bringing back the Kaleido Chick yet again. It's only once each time it's on the field, so you can keep using that Kaleido Chick effect every time it's a fresh copy.
I mean, it was, you know, this combination of cards will allow Lunalight back in the day to win, you know, a YCS with the Lunalight Orcus strategies, and years later they're still the heart of this deck.
He also has the Silverhound in graveyard with the fusion, so that's going to be able to negate a spell or trap card on the field, potentially on Felipe's turn.
I'm wondering though, if Felipe knows it's there, it's almost impossible to trigger on the Akroki because it's always going to be when you do a synchro summon. So as long as you use the effect of the synchro summoned monster as Chainlink 2, you're always going to be able to play around that at least on your field spell.
Definitely important to note. Going to take a chance to look through that graveyard again. I mean, it's still crazy that Felipe opened with 3 engage, and this is where we're at. And it's going to be triple tactics thrust. That's a big one.
Do we have the Black Goat even going in this game? That could be a big difference. And there is the Black Goat laughs.
You see him? Yeah, that's going to seal the deal pretty much.
Yeah,
I don't think there's anything Felipe can draw to deal with this card on the following turn. Tom is going to be moments away from making it to top 4.
Yeah, I mean, we have seen this card played in a lot of different, you know, ratio just because of this matchup alone. Calling that Snatchy is so devastating for the deck. We have a think here, we're about to commit, but instead the change of art at the very last second, and rather than going for an SP, we might go for Baguska, it seems.
Yep. Number 41.
Is that everything for Tom, though?
We switch the Leo, right? Not unaffected.
Just makes you wonder, though. Like, is there another Link 1 for Felipe?
No, yeah, the Leo should go. The Leo Dancer should go to
defense
defense
mode. Should go to defense, that's what I mean. Not quite unaffected as its upgrade, but... Yeah.
Tom won't be able to draw for his turn, so that's something to note.
Yeah, I mean, where's the engine left? But Tom, it's
he's the
just
Tiger on the
Tiger,
field.
yeah, and you're not drawing for turn. I'm wondering, like, just a Baguska and a Black Goat. Black Goat has to be reserved.
He'll have a yellow. He could use Yellow Martin in the graveyard to return the Tiger too. So that's like 3 monsters all on its own.
But surely Felipe, he's got 2 Yummies in hand, can just make a Link 1. But then what does he do with the result of it? Possibly as well that Dugara's in the Anima zone, if that's something in Felipe's extra deck.
Is that a good draw? I think, is there a monster effect he's going to use?
He's looking at the Leo saying, please
sure
can you use it?
Nothing hidden there that I need to know about.
Yeah. And yeah, as you've mentioned, no cards in hand from Tom. And just that Black Goat, every single card is known for Felipe. And unfortunately, that Artifact Lancia was not really needed at all. And we're not going to use it.
Lollipop is going to be summoned, put to sleep by Baguska. I think, I mean, if you don't Black Goat Laughs now, when do you do it?
Yeah. And I mean, we have also seen that there is no Almirage, which is a big issue here. And that is actually the handshake.
Does he,
wow.